All right. Well, I think what I want to talk about is related to both things. So I'll start it this way. I live in New York City. I go to a lot of events and conferences. I also love to travel. I meet tons of people everywhere. I love meeting people. I love talking to people and learning about what they're up to. But I don't always like asking the question, what do you do? I think it's sometimes really interesting. And I think the people that I tend to meet are doing really interesting things. And the things that they're working on are directly related to their passions. But at the same time, I think that sometimes for other people, the question of what you do is less important than who you are or what you care about. And I'm so sick of people asking this question. And I think part of it is because what I do is sometimes hard to explain. And sometimes people don't understand it or see the value in it. And that's fine. I don't really need everybody that I meet to understand it. But I think what's more important is having a connection with somebody. And I think that ties in really well with what we're talking about of who I know and who I'm working with. And sometimes I meet people, especially in the New York City startup scene, it's a little bit obnoxious of people bragging about, what guy they got to sign up or what influencer they're working with. And the best stories that I have are the ones when they're telling me about all this cool stuff they're doing and all these amazing people they're working with, and they're name dropping my clients one after the other. And it's like, and I just hold my tongue for as long as possible because I don't want to be them. I don't want to be the person that is just bragging about who I work with, because first of all, that's not in my value system, but it's also, I don't work with these people because I think they're famous. I work with them because they're smart and they teach me something and they lift me up to be a better person. And I think sometimes people, especially in marketing, technology, startup scene, get too caught up with what is their reputation and what is their perception in the world instead of what actual real connections they're making. And I'm so sick of it. And I think what they're going to find, if they haven't already, is that if they're focused too much on what they're doing instead of who they're doing it with in those relationships, they're not going to get anywhere. And I'll say, for me, my connections are everything. My business is 100% built on referrals, whether it's referrals from current clients or referrals from friends, or even referrals from things I've posted on the internet, like my blog posts and my profiles and things like that. And I think that's because I really care about not only making new connections, but really building the relationship with the connections that I already have and making the time to be in person and to be present, whether it's grabbing a drink at an event, a cocktail party, or if it's, hey, you're in town, okay, I'm going to drop everything and have lunch with you. And maybe, I don't ship as much that day as Seth Godin says, but I got to make that connection and I got to see that person, and that person oftentimes down the road will ask me for something or I'll offer them something, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship, both personally and professionally. And I just think people don't think about that as much, and they're going to wake up one day alone and sad, and it's going to suck for them, but it's great for me.